Hey guys, what's up? It is Scott, and this week we're gonna be making this fun hyperlapse where we're gonna be kind of playing, pushing, and pulling up this building, the one hands in place. So if we look at the actual project file, I think it's 20 seconds long, but we only ended up using the last 11 just because one Hanson building got so small. So I did take a photo every 3 steps, and I used the sidewalk as my guideline and used grids, basically keeping the bottom of one Hanson place to the best of my ability at the bottom third of the horizontal line. Basically just took a photo every 3 seconds. I didn't worry about using an intervalometer. I think my aperture was 4.5 and my shutter speed was 1/200th of a second, and just shot it all the way until I got there. And I did have to do a walk to make sure like I knew where to stop. And that's pretty much it. A lot of things ended up getting in the way. There was construction and people and stuff like that, so I did kind of have to like weave around. So let's talk about some of the more difficult aspects of this. First, let's show you where we motion track. So we're gonna hop in After Effects, and I want your eye to be drawn right to the building. That's where I want you to look. So I tracked right at the top, since that's where my hand is gonna be animating it, or like force perspecting like it's animating it. So I just tracked that all the way through, and that one was really simple. You know, the trees did get in there a little bit, but they're so thin because there's no leaves, so it was really easy to kind of see through that. So the next step was gonna be to come in here and do our rotation keyframe. And for that, what I ended up doing is I worked backwards. I thought that was gonna be a little bit easier in this situation. It's always case by case. And I just found this angle that I could see, and it tracked pretty well up until it didn't. So I think it eventually gets hidden behind this Bergen sign. So there it is behind the Bergen sign. I just moved the tracker pad over to the window, and you could just move it as many times as you want. And really, it's that simple. You just move the tracking point and just put it in different spots. As long as it's on a vertical or a horizontal line, you're gonna be totally fine. And if you have any more questions about that, I really recommend watching my 3 secrets to stabilizing any time-lapse or hyperlapse. It's all covered in there in a lot more detail, but that's the basic principle. And once that was done, most of the hard part is all finished. We just go ahead and stabilize it, and then it was time to just record my hand. And so when I recorded the hand, did it against the wall with my iPhone. So the first time that I did it, my hand was too wide, and if I were to try to force it to fit on, it kind of like cut off my wrist, so it didn't look so good. And the second time that I did it, the issue that I had was because I ended up doing a time remapping and kind of have like this different pacing, I couldn't mimic that with my hand no matter how hard I tried. So what I ended up finding that worked was to put my finger down, hold it, and then then just pinch it and hold that as well. And then that way I could just animate it to match exactly. And that worked out pretty well. Which brings me to another point which I forgot to talk about, which is the time remapping. So in the time remapping part, what we're doing here is we're just setting easy ease keyframes for the beginning and the end. And if I go in here and click Control, I can see this keyframe velocity, and I can just adjust these parameters. And I ended up choosing 84%. But basically what this will do is it allows you to kind of give a little bit of force to your easy ease, and it kind of like accelerates it, and it makes it feel like there's a little bit of gravity. Like when I pull it up, it doesn't start so hard, it doesn't start so easily. It's almost like I'm forcing it out of the ground, and the same thing when I'm pushing it. It's just kind of to sell that illusion that you're pulling it and pushing it. And that is pretty much it for the whole effect, and this is the results you get. And I thought it was a lot of fun. It turned out pretty good. I actually tried to do some different sound effects. I wanted to make it seem like I was having a hard time pulling it, and my wife had the smart decision to actually use that sound effect that we use now, which I learned is called a slide whistle. So hey, you learn something new every day. All right, well that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it fun. Maybe it gave you a little inspiration for something that you can try. Happy shooting. I'm Scott, and I'll see you next time.